really important that you find that question box. Well, those of you that have commented in the question box will automatically be sent a recording of this just because you commented. You do not have to put your email address in there. The system is picking up your email from what you registered, so the email that you registered with, and tomorrow it takes 24 hours for the video to render, but you will get a copy of this actual webinar. So you can slow me down, speed me up. Again, it's 24 hours from now, but you do have to have commented in the question box. If you haven't commented, you're not going to get a copy of it. So that's why it's also important to find that question box, not only so I can customize and respond to you, it's so you can get a copy of today's recording. Now, do know I keep it highly interactive, so do ask your questions. I will answer it if it pertains to what we're talking about. But if it's lengthy and specific, I'm going to be respectful of your time. I will save that to the end. Do know that I turn off the recording at the end. I do not cover questions, long Q&A. I do not put that in the recording. That's the benefit of being here live. Okay. There's also another benefit of being here live, but we'll talk about that in a moment. But right now, if you've commented in the question box, that's the only action you have to do to get a copy of today's slides, right? So is this the question box? It is. You found it, Appy. You found it. That's it. That's the question box. You are there. Hello, Jennifer, also with Apple Capital Omega. Well represented, Jennifer. So I'm thankful for everybody being here. Jennifer, I see you too with the Bridges Training Foundation. Also, Tamara, Latoya, hello. I see you. Rhonda, I see you as well. Welcome, everybody. Today, we're going to be talking about powering your job search with Google tools. If you need any assistance, if you'll go to this URL right here, you can see all the different topics that we can train on and that your Google partner that invited you has access to. So just go here, and if you would like to bring me back for something else, I'm welcome to come back. Just request it through your Google partner. And if you are tweeting or posting, letting everybody know that you're leveling up your skills, use this hashtag Grow with Google, because it lets the Google team also know that this matters to you and encourages them to create more and make more available to your Google partner. Now, this is me on Twitter right here at the very bottom at Maria Duron, or me on Instagram at Maria Elena Duron. If you want to use that hashtag and tag me too, I'll be happy to repost you, reshare you in my stories, and on Twitter, wherever you feel comfortable posting. I'm in every social, so I'm happy to do that for you. And I would love to just see what you take from there, because I love always photos and screenshots from the actual event. Hello, Carla. Hello, hello. Thank you for finding that question box. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and dive in. Let me sit here. I got to click on the right screen. There we go. All right, so we know that because there's not as much word of mouth opportunities as there was before. I mean, we're all getting back to seeing each other face to face, but not every office is back face-to-face, or every workplace is back face-to-face. Some are hybrid. You know, you heard me talk about HEB earlier, and that's where I actually found my husband. So he never stopped working. He was always at the store because he had to be there. Everybody needed their toilet paper, right? So what we see is there's a reduction of the kind of word of mouth opportunities. Plus, you might be doing hybrid work where you're working from home. You know, we all made the big shift in March 2020. In fact, before then, I would ask people to do a video call, and they would have no idea or no interest in doing that. Now we're all Zoom experts, right? Google Meet experts. And of course, we don't know that there's a lot of other remote work options. So sometimes it's challenging. We just don't see what's available to us. So when you were working from home, I know we all may have gotten already well versed with this, but some people may have been workers who were on the job, like my husband, who now are looking for the opportunity or are wanting to change their opportunities. And if that's the case, if you are doing some job search from home, just know that you do need to get into some sort of routine. It is really easy to be 24/7 here when you're always connected, right? We're all connected to our mobile phones. 76% of us go here when we need to do anything, and we go here first, so we hear a ping, we hear a notification, and that's a thing. We see a lot of articles and studies being done now about the kind of stress people have because they're always on 24/7 when they're working. It's also important to have a good dedicated work spot. It's quite a lot when you're traveling around with things, and I know that because I travel quite a bit. I used to travel 4 to 5 days out of the week with a Google team all over the United States presenting, and I know that it can still be stressful moving from location to location, and there's some time that has to happen to put everything out that you need in arm's length to make you more effective. So look for a spot, give yourself breaks, make sure you have the right tools that you need. Do know that everything that I'm talking about today is 100% free. That's all I ever talk about, free or small fee, but this is free, all available to you through your free Google account and your free Gmail account, free personal Gmail account. But I'm going to show you how to use it even without those so you can know how to power your job search, okay? Now also, to-do list, that's important because it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to, I've got to go do this, I've got to make lunch, I've got to do laundry, I've got to accept a package, all of these things happening. So if people are doing this, give them some grace and give yourself some grace, okay? Because you are still you, everything is still coming your way. And if you are not healthy and well enough to do things, then everything that you are connected with also falls apart, all right? So make sure you take care of you. Today, we're going to be talking about how you can track your job search opportunities, how you can find those opportunities, how you can create a resume. Now, I'm not going to go in depth into that. I'll just touch on that because we have a whole other webinar about practical strategies to actually improve your resume. And we'll talk about how to get strong in a Google Meet. So strong in an interview, because Google Meet is free, it's 100% free. A lot of people are using this in their interview process. So it's important for you to be versed on that, just in case somebody says, hey, I want to interview you. You need to be ready, all right? Camera ready, and be ready to provide a great interview. And then how you can learn from anywhere, all right? So again, if you need closed captions, remember, we've got the fabulous Michelle here. If you'll go to this link here, g.co/grow/Maria, you'll go to the gear icon at the top right-hand corner, and now you can adjust it any way that you like that's comfortable for you, okay? Let me see. I do see some people here. Finding Chandalyn, welcome Chandalyn. Thank you for being here. Thanks for finding that question box. I'll let everybody know if you've typed in the question box and made a comment there, then you will get a copy of the recording, okay? You'll get a copy of the recording. You can also get a copy of the slides, but not yet. I'll tell you when to comment because then you can get a copy of today's slides too. And some people like to use that as a checklist or an outline when they are setting up their job search. So how you can track your job search in Google Sheets. Let's talk about that first because organizing a job search is really important. Remember what I said about the free personal Gmail account or free Google account? Let me know in the question box, have you ever used Google Sheets? Just put a Y for yes or an N for no. Have you ever used Google Sheets? So to access a Google Sheet, which is what we're talking about here, to track your actual job search, you'll go to your personal Gmail account, just log in, and then you will actually look for what's known as the app keypad. So I'll show you that in just a moment. If you don't have a Google account, you can go here and you can set up a free Google account. It does not change your email to Gmail. So you'll use your email to set up a Google account, but it doesn't set it up as Gmail, and you'll create a password. And then like any other password protected site online, this is what you'll use to log in to access all the free tools. So I see some people saying yes, no, yes, no. Okay, we got about 50-50, yes, no. Thank you for everybody that answered because it was just a handful that answered, but thank you for doing that. Yes, okay. So what Google Sheets are is Google Sheets works just like Excel, all right? Just so you know. And if you want to screenshot this, if you've never used it and you'd like to access a free Google account, I'll get my pointer out of the way so you can screenshot that. Remember, you're going to get a copy of this recording, but it's 24 hours from now. So you might want to already take action on this after we finish. Now, when you're actually in your Google account, let me explain what Google Sheets are. Google Sheets, you'll see here the animation showing you all of the different free apps that you have available through your free Google account. Google Sheets works just like Excel. You don't have to have a license or anything. You have it with your free personal Gmail account. Google Docs works just like Word. Google Sheets works just like Excel, and Google Slides works just like PowerPoint, and there's no additional cost. You can share that across everywhere, anybody who has a free Google account, and it's wonderful to have. I love it because you can access, you don't have to worry about carrying a program in different devices, super easy. But when you click on Google Apps, right here at the app keypad that we trainers lovingly call the app waffle, just because it looks like a waffle to us, right up here at the top right-hand corner, you can now see the Google Apps, and you're gonna click on Google Drive. Google Drive actually has free for you, of course, when you have a free Gmail or Google account, free 15 gigabytes of space. So you don't have to buy additional space. You don't have to have the paid workforce or so now I just went blank on it. The work solution, you don't have to have the paid one at all. You can use this for free. And what you'll do is you'll click on New. When you're in Google Drive, you'll click over Google Sheets, hover over there, and you can start with a blank spreadsheet or a template, okay? So let me show you what that looks like in real life, because I know the animation, hello, Kimberly. I know the animation can be kind of rough to see, especially because we're broadcasting. So I'm logged into my Google account. Let's say it's the free Google account. This is what it looks like when it's in Gmail. You see, you go up here to the app keypad. If I was in my free Google account, which is going to look like this, it's managed. Just want to make sure I'm clicking on the right thing because I can't see it from my light. There we go. So this is what it looks like when you're in a free Google account. So you don't have email with it. You just have a free Google account here, right? But you still have that app keypad, right? So you get all of that there. What you're going to do is you're going to go down here when you're logged in, and you're going to go down to Google Drive. That's the primary colored triangle. You'll click on that. When you click on that, let me make all this bigger too, because I am broadcasting. There we go. Nice and easy to see. I'm going to click New, and just like the animation showed, I'll hover over Google Sheets and then click on Blank Spreadsheet. But when you're in there, when you've got some time, I encourage you to take a look around, because if you see here from a template, there's a lot of free templates like budgets and calendars and invoices that you can use for free here within Google Sheets. And those are already templates with all the formulas laid out. But let's go to the point at hand. We're going to go here, New, Google Sheets, and then you're going to click on Blank Spreadsheet. It will open up another tab, and now you can use this to start tracking your job search, because it's really important for you to be able to organize things. What happens a lot of times when we are job searching is we are creating things as we go. And you know, it becomes highly emotional and time consuming when we are creating things as we're experiencing them. For example, we see a great job, we think, oh my gosh, I've got to apply to this job. Let me go create a cover letter. Let me go create a resume. Where is that? Where's that information of what's that person's phone number? What year was it that I started at this place? We're recreating as we go, and the opportunity has now quickly slipped by, because timing is everything. And when you can organize yourself to be more effective, you've got all the tools right there, and you can start batching them together. You're using the kind of organization skills that you see happen in a kindergarten discovery room, okay? When you're in a kindergarten classroom, you see a music discovery center, a kitchen discovery center, you see a reading discovery center, and the reason you see all of those together is to make it nice and easy when everything's going to be put away and everything's in one place. And that's what we're doing here by organizing your actual job search with a Google Sheet, because using a spreadsheet will now help you organize this. And you can start having things like different copies of your resume together, all of your information, and as far as the years you worked at a place, all the skills you brought, all the different things that you actually accomplished there, all on one sheet as well. So you've got everything all together that now when an opportunity happens, you just have to copy and paste, and you're ready to go. You can apply right away. In fact, when I hired both the creative director and the recent web developer that I hired in the last 2 weeks, we put a job search ad or job search post on LinkedIn. And within 14 minutes for the creative director, we got 28 resumes in 14 minutes. I only looked at those 28 resumes. Don't have any other time, because you've got to do everything else. You're butcher baker and candlestick maker too in your business and trying to manage it. So I looked only that first for 14 minutes. For the web developer, it took about 20 minutes. We had a little over 117 people apply, and that is the only resumes I looked at. Now the job stayed open for a week, but I just had no more time to look at any other resume. So do understand that when you can be effective like this and be quickly responsive, timing can be everything, right? Right? Yeah, and I'm not alone. Some people only allow it for 5 minutes. They'll keep a job open for a month, but they're only the first 5 minutes worth of resumes is what they'll actually look at. So I'm not alone on that. I'm actually the one that gives the bigger window, because I do have a little bit of heart and kindness to I know what everybody's doing to try to apply. So as you're looking at your Google Sheet here, some of the basics to know is you can rename it at the very top. So you're able to rename it. You won't see a little save icon, because Google Drive is always saving. So I live in rural Midland, Texas, and we get power surges. So the fun thing about that, when I was just using everything Windows-based, is if I didn't save, I lost everything. What's nice with Google and Google Drive, it's constantly saving. So you don't have to save. If power goes out, you don't have to worry about that. You can also go to different versions of it too if you're traveling and you need to access it somewhere else or somebody else is helping you. So you see there are cells here, there are columns. Every column is lettered. So everything that's vertical is a column, everything horizontal is a row, and that's numbered. So if you look right here at this text, salary or hourly rate, that address of that cell is C1, column C, row 1, salary and hourly rate. Okay, so all of that is right there. And now you can start putting different things together on the sheet that matter to you that you check with when you're searching for work. Now you can organize this job search by actually, as I said, laying this out, organizing it the way you want, what matters to you. It could be the actual name of the job. It could be exactly the company name there, maybe a link to the company or a link to the opportunity. Is it the right salary? Is it local to you, close by, or is it far away? Did you use one of your resumes, one of your different versions of your resumes? And you should have more than one version of your resume. So which version did you use? Because if they contact you, that's the next step right away. You want to know what you submitted to them. You don't want to try to figure that out or search that. Now, how you can format this job tracker is by setting things up. Like, for example, if you highlight that first row, you can color code it, you can bold it. You see at the top, that looks very much like Word. You should be very familiar with that if you've ever used Word. So you can highlight and do several different things. You can designate different columns for different things. You can make them bigger or smaller if you need to. And if you see right up here, if you just put the name up here, you're able to name it and customize it. If you put a star up here, it will show up at the very top of your Google Drive, so you don't have to worry about hunting or looking for it. Or you could click on this little folder here, which will help you organize it somewhere. So that's how you can track, whether you use Google Tools or not. Today, of course, I'm talking about Google Tools. It's in the title. But if you're just using another spreadsheet, this is one way for you to always keep track of your search. And now you can start compartmentalizing your search to, hey, I'm going to search right now. For this 10 minutes in the day, I'm going to search and write down and put in everything that looks like it's promising to me. And then the next 30 minutes of the day, I'm going to apply to all of them. And you have everything there, so it doesn't take the rest of the day, which it might be taking right now because you're having to search all those out. And a lot of us, when we're searching things out, we go down a walk down memory lane and we're totally distracted and it takes us forever to come back to it. So let's talk now about how you can find opportunities with Google Search, and I will go back to the Google Sheet to cover some specifics of how you can use what you find in search and bring that here. But are there any questions so far? I would like this training. Absolutely. You will get it emailed to you, Erica. You'll get a copy of it. It's 24 hours that it takes the video to render. So don't think I forgot about you if you don't get it tonight. It will be 24 hours later. You'll get a copy of today's slides in your inbox just because you commented here in the question box. And if you want a copy of today's slides, just say the word slides, and I will also send a copy of the slides because you might want that with you. It'll also come with a copy of this, of the actual video. So just let me know. Yes, absolutely, Laura. We'll make sure you get a copy of it. Perfect. So let's talk about how you can find opportunities in Google Search. Well, just go to Google Search, google.com, where you're already used to going when you search, and you could put jobs near you. Now, you might just put jobs because it already may learn your IP address and where you're located at, depending on what your security settings are. But right here and right now, you can go to jobs near me, and you can put exactly where you're located at. You can also, when you search, see that the search results brings up this thing, which is the job seeker tool. Now, do know this is a deeper blue. It's actually a lighter blue right now. Let me show you where, so you could see it. Excuse me. All right, let me go. There we go. We go here to google.com. All right, and so you'll see when I say jobs near me, see how it's picking up? I'm in Midland, Texas, but I'm just going to say jobs near me. And you see this, I don't want right now that. You'll see it's a light blue compared to the dark blue that you see in the slides. That change just happened recently, so I wanted you to be aware you're still looking at the right place, even though it's depicted in blue here. Absolutely, everybody. Thanks for letting me know you want a copy of today's slides. You got it. All right. So as we look at this, let's really think about what you're looking for. You know, what is their actual skill set? So you can go here and expand your search to really focus on if you're looking for more for work for home opportunities or work from home. If you're looking for more recent opportunities, you can filter. Each of these buttons represents a filter in the job search. Okay, so using the job search tool, you don't have to be in your Google account to use this for free at all. You can just do this straight through Google. But if you want to use the sheets, then of course you need to be in your Google account for that. Or you could be looking for, let's see, possible job opportunities. You could start looking to see, you know, what exactly you're in HR, you're looking for jobs near you. When the blue box comes up, you can start looking at that. You can customize to see whether or not they're near you there in Houston. Then once you click on there to see more jobs, this will actually populate. So this gives you even more in-depth information about each job. Know that Google is pulling from a little over 3,000 different databases with new jobs posting every second. I mean, it is constant. So this is something that's right here at your fingertips. Instead of you having to try to log into all these other different tools, you have this available to you right here in your Google job search. So you see all the detail here from how many dollars an hour, so the pay, how long ago, how far away it is from your location. Now, when you look at this, you see you also have options to apply. You can apply right there on Austin Fraser, or you can apply on Dice. So see how what I said about we're working with over 3,000 different recruitment sites too, as well as employers. They're really big recruitment banks and job banks that we work with. So do know that you can do that quickly. You can also look at salary information, more details on the job, what kind of type, and just a whole bunch that you'll need to know to see if that's a good job that you want to spend your time applying for. Now you can also filter your results, because just like any other Google search, it's giving you all this great information in detail, and you may not want and need it, or it might consume you and you don't get to the end result, which is you've got to go apply. So as you look at this, you can look by title. You can actually filter by title. So that's what it's showing you here. You can filter by location. When I say category, it could be the type, is it full-time? Is it part-time? You can also put here the company type or the date it was posted or who the employer was. If you just want to work, you want to go work for Google, that's all you want to do, then you're going to put the employer as Google. If that's that's your life goal, that's what you want to do, then you're going to put that in. But you do have the ability to filter those results so you're not overwhelmed with so many different things to look at, and it really can focus on your goals. Now, when you're looking for work from home jobs, that's what you're going to do. You can start looking at location, and there's work from home. You can click that filter here. But of course, if you are wanting to work close by, you can also decide how close or how far. For some of us, especially in rural West Texas, for us, 60 miles down the road is nothing. It's just that, down the road. But it might not be comfortable depending on your location, okay? So just look and see if this is something that you'd be willing to do, a job, if you got it, you'd be willing to work at and do that commute every single day. So quick story, I was working in Victoria, Texas, and I decided to take a job in Bay City. That is 72 miles one way. And that's great to do every now and again. But now imagine doing that 6 days a week, 72 miles there and 72 miles home and 72 miles there and home. Pretty soon I was like, what was I thinking? So give yourself a good talking to and really dig deep to find out exactly what you're willing to do. Now you can also see for non-degree jobs near you. So you could put that in there. If that's exactly what you want to look for, then don't waste your time looking at other ones, especially if it's a strict requirement. You can see that, but specifically you might even want sales jobs, you might want marketing jobs. And you can also filter that when you're in the actual tool. Remember what I said about you click on this right here, the bar, the blue bar that comes up right there. It'll come up in your search. And then when you click on this, it'll expand out and take you here where all the details are. All right. Everybody feel comfortable with finding this? Now, if you're a veteran, what's really cool is you can put veterans job near me. And what I love for veterans is that you can put your MOSC codes, or that's a military occupational specialty code. And every branch of the service has one. If you put that in there, it will immediately match the jobs that align right away and completely with the jobs that you've been doing in the military, so that you've been serving us with. So right here, it's nice and easy. You don't have to worry about any other detail. It's done for you. And then of course you can save jobs. You see that here? This is a very familiar icon. That's the bookmark icon. That means you can save it, and it will save it here within the job search tool for you when you come back. Now, do know that when you're logged into your actual Google account, all of this is saved right there for you too. So you don't have to worry about looking at it. If you're not using your Google account, you won't be able to save these. So you do have to be in a Google account to do this, but you can save it and come back to it. You can also turn on alerts. So you've got other things to do. You don't want to be on all the time, seeing how many jobs are available every minute, but maybe you want it to alert you. Now, remember what I said about timing is everything though. So don't wait to alert you at the end of the week. You might want to wait to the end of the day, especially if you're working for somebody else and you want to be a good steward with the amount of hours that they're giving you and really do their work. But you're going to look at these later. But some people set it to instantly. I know that's what I normally do because I know my habit, and I know a lot of recruiters and business owners and the way they hire, and I know timing's everything. And because of that, I have it set on in real time. As soon as it's posted, I want to know about it. I don't want to miss it because I was on another screen searching for something else. Now you can enter these opportunities in that job sheet, that job tracker sheet that we were talking about. You'll put there exactly what the job is. You'll put all that information. Everything is there nice and tidy. So this is the search mode. Remember what I said about the 5-year-old Discovery Center and putting all like things together. The gear shifts that we have to do when we look for things, especially finding things, is huge. So we don't want you to be delayed and then also to, be disadvantaged in being able to apply for something because you're doing all these other things. Everything is right here at your fingertips. How do I filter to part-time work or work that occurs in the evening? Oh, there is part-time work there. There's a filter for that. Let me see if it's showing us right here. It's category. So you'll look under category and you can decide part-time work and the hours too that you're looking at. So you can put that into category. Good question. All right, so you're going to put that into your Google Sheet here, capture that information. Now we're going to talk about creating a resume. Any questions about what we just covered? Okay. Let me show you in real time too, because sometimes, as I said, that the animation gets a little bit small, but remember we're going back here. I was searching for jobs near me. This came out blue here. If I just click on it, notice how the little hand shows up when I hover over it, click on it. See how it brings everything up now? All right, so I can decide right here if I want, let me see, I think it's under type. Sorry, Appy, it's under type, not category. And I'm gonna click part-time. So now I can start filtering through there, okay? All right. Any other questions before we go on to creating a resume? How many of you use several different versions of your resume? Just put Y in the question box if you do that, and if you don't. You have one resume and it's one size fits all. Okay, I see people saying yes, 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 they have different resumes. Ooh, I do see some people saying no. All right, for those of you who have said no, let me chat with you a minute, because a resume's job is to get the person to say, tell me more, all right? It is not to get you the job. Nobody gets a job immediately from the resume. Even though I told you about the people that I picked up in the first 14 minutes and 20 minutes, those resumes, I didn't hire them on the spot. That was to get an interview. The resume's job is to get the person looking to say, tell me more, to make them slow down and say, tell me more. I need more information about this person. The best way to do that is to match what they're looking for. Look at the actual job description, and if you can match some of the great skill sets they're looking for in there and put that in your resume, now when they see it, it captures their attention and they're ready to go. They're just like, oh my gosh, this person, they get us. They fit. They feel like they're a part of us. They're using our language. Okay, this is really important, because most recruiters only look, and most business owners only look at each resume 6 seconds. That's it. 6 seconds is all you've got to capture their attention. That's why it's important to customize your resume to every single kind of job. So I might have a resume for sales and then one for sales director, because being in sales compared to directing and managing a sales team are two totally different skill sets. It could be marketing, social media marketing. It could be a marketing director. Again, those are two totally different skill sets. So I do want to customize that. So as you create a resume, you can do that also with Google Docs. Remember what I said, that's like Word. So that works just like Word. And remember how I told you to find your Google Drive and to access that. So I'll show you that in just a moment. Hello, Joe, welcome. All right, let me do a live demo here. So if you're in your Google account and I click on Google Drive, remember I'm going to just close this out here and I'm going to go to Google Drive. When I go to Google Drive, I'm going to click New. I'm going to go to Google Docs, hover over there, and instead of from a template, but there's lots of templates out there, by the way, I'm going to say blank document. I could do that, but you could actually go here from a template. It brings up another tab, and when you go to the templates here, you'll see you have all these free resume templates that you have access to, and you just customize them however you see fit. So what happens in the template gallery, if you click on any of these, let's say I like the Swiss resume, what happens, you see it thinking here, then it loads it. Now this is your copy. You've not changed the template gallery. This is yours. So now I can call it Maria's resume. Get off all caps, Maria's resume, and I can say Maria Elena. I could put all this information, customize it. I can even go in here and change the color. Let's say I don't like the orange. I'm Texas Tech, so I want the red, and I may not want to put the address there, so I'll just go to delete that. So you could do all of that and customize it any way you see fit. Now remember what I said about customizing your resume for every job, right? So what you can do, what I love, remember what I said, Google's always saving, the Google Drive. So I could put here, make a copy of this, and then I could say, this is Maria's resume for sales, and I can make a copy. Now it brings up another tab. It's picked up all the changes I made right there in that one, but now I can customize this to be more for a sales job, okay? And I can use this resume for all the sales positions that I'm actually applying for. Make sense? Any questions about that? All right, this is how you find it. Remember what I said, make a comment in the question box here, say slides if you want a copy of today's slides, or make a comment to get a copy of today's recording so you can know how to walk through and find this without me talking in your ear, or if you need me to review it again. But this is how you get there. All right, once you're there, you can format it just like I showed you in real time in the demo. Now you can see it happening in the animation here, how you can change your name, do whatever you need to do, how you can customize and name the resume too. You can also see that you can format the text. So if you don't like the text that's used in the template gallery, you can, of course, go and adjust and choose any text you like. Remember what I said, this looks a lot like Word. And if you want to start with a blank sheet, you can start with a blank sheet. If you don't want to use any of the templates, it's really up to you. It's your choice. Now, what you can do is you can start formatting it and putting information in, and you can also ask for comments here, because let's say I'm working with a sorority sister, right? Or I'm working with the LTC Tomball Community Library or the Estacasita branch, and I want them to look at my resume, because you know, we proofread 5 million times, and then as soon as we send something, that's when we see the typos, right? So we need somebody else to take a look at it. So we may need that to comment them in. And when you do this, when you comment them in here and you actually put their email address, it sends an email to them, and they'll be taken right directly to your comment, your question in that sheet. It'll go directly there. They don't have to search or wonder where in the doc you said the document you needed this reviewed, anything. They'll know exactly. They'll be on the same exact page and area of the page that you are. Now, when you're formatting, you can also copy. I showed you how to do that, so that's easy enough to do, but you'll see it here just in case you forget. You'll have it in the recording and the animation. So you can copy, rename it, and now save it and have several copies of your resume. Now you can also share this. So there's a share button right here if you want to share that. Let's say you're working with the Workforce Commission of Tarrant County, right? You're working for that with them, and they're saying they'd like to review your resume, just make sure you're covering all the high spots. Then you can send a copy to them by sharing it this way and letting them know, and you can decide whether they can edit, they're just viewing, or they can make a comment, but it will notify them this way too. So you're also, if you want them to see the whole document, this is how I would share. Would I share it with an employer this way or a recruiter? Probably not. And the reason being is because remember what I said about your resume gets you the meeting, right? That's what you're after. So what happens when it is taken to somebody else's machine and it's using their format? This is what happens a lot of time with Word. People send their resumes in Word, and understand you may have it beautiful with 1 inch on each side and then 1/2 inch on the top and bottom, and it's gorgeous. You've got everything spaced, looking right, using a lot of white space, looks beautiful. You send it off, that other person has Word on their machine, but their settings are 1/2 inch on each side and 1 inch on the top and 1 inch on the bottom. Now it looks like a jumbled mess. There's spaces where you didn't intend their spaces. There's things that are cut off, and to them, the impression is they don't care enough about their work and the quality of their work for me to even look at this. So on to the next person, right? So you can share it this way, but share it with people who are helping you as you look through your resume and actually improving it before you send it to an actual position. Now you can also add links to these resumes. Remember what I said, if you're not sure what resume you sent now, or you're using different resumes, now you can go to the job tracker sheet and use this to show what resume you sent. Because when you get that email or the message that, hey, they want to meet you, you know right away exactly what you sent, and you can be on the same page they are. So with a strong interview, remember what I said about that we're now doing a lot of video interviews, and because Google Meet is free, a lot of people use Google Meet. There's no subscription to it, so they'll just use it. It's already a part of their free personal Gmail or email account. So what that looks like when you're in a Google Meet, if you've never been there, is it looks like this. It can be, you know, 100, 200 people in a Google Meet. But if you're having an interview, it might be 1 to 3 people in an interview. So you'll see them here. All of the navigation happens here at the bottom. So you'll see the ability to control your mic, turn it on or off, control your camera, turn it on or off, hang up. So that looks like a phone. You're hanging up if you're leaving, to raise your hand, to use closed captions if you need to, or to be able to present. You can do all of that. Up here, it will let you know how many people are in the meeting. If you need to use the chat bubble to the right, that is a chat that everybody can see, or you can decide that I only want to chat with Jane here because I've got something directly to say to Jane. You can do that too. Plus, there's a lot of other apps and functions connected with Google Meet. So this is available free through your Google account, either Gmail, your free Gmail account, or your Google account. Now, how many of you have used Google Meet? I'd love to hear yes or no. Just let me know why for yes or N for no. And then if you've done a video interview, ever done an video interview, put the number 1. Let me know here. So I see we're about half and half, yes and no. Multiple times, got it. You're expert. So 1, you've done video interviews. Okay, wonderful. Perfect. So this, for some of you, you're experts at this. You've done this already. Yes. So when you're in a video interview, and this applies to all meetings, note to look at the camera. I mean, look directly at the camera. If I looked at the light that's coming off my camera, because I do have a little light to show that it's on or if it's live, if I look at that light, look where I'm looking at. See where I'm looking at. I'm not making eye contact. And here in the United States, for you to be seen as truthful and confident, people are still expecting great eye contact. So know exactly where that camera lens is. That's super important. Speak slowly and clearly. This is also really, really important. You do need to pay attention to lighting. I happen to be I'm actually working out of my home office because still most of the Google team, the majority are still remote based. And because I'm doing that, I'm in a dark corner. And in a dark corner, I don't have enough light. So I've got a couple of Lume Cube lights here to the right giving me some light because natural light would be better, but I just don't have access to that, not here. Anyway, and then remember to look behind you, everyone. We've all seen way too much, the unmade bed or the mess in the pile of laundry, or the spouse or partner that comes out of the shower with a towel on that just didn't know that you were going on camera. So we've all seen way too much more than we want to see. Keep all of that in mind and look behind you. What are people seeing? Because that's all a part of that first impression. And then practice, really practice, because a lot of times, again, just finding the camera can be the key between whether or not somebody thinks you're a good candidate or not. Because when people are looking at their laptop, this is what you see. They're looking at the laptop screen. We see the big faces on the screen, so that's what we see. But the camera's up here. So that's what the shot is of the person who's looking at you. And if you are in a group interview, like a panel interview, mute your mic when you're not the one speaking. Okay, you don't know the noise that you have in the background, from the fan going to the rush of the wind, to the leaf blower that's going on outside, to the dog that's barking. All of that could be happening and distracting everyone in the meeting, and that's considered rude. If you're not the one speaking, mute your mic. Okay, any other questions? I've shown you a lot today. I've shown you how to use Google Sheets, and I'm happy to show you more if you need more details. So feel free to ask. I showed you how to use Google Search to find the Google Job Seeker search tool and to be able to bring that up and to use that. I've also showed you how to use Docs and use Meet. Now remember what I said with the Google Job Seeker tool. I'm going to go back to that real quick. In the Job Seeker tool. So I can look here, I can decide the category. So let's say I'm interested in customer service. So it will be able to look in this way. I can look at the title. I want to be a service advisor, let's say. Things that are brand new in our area, the location, I do want it here, but let's say I want to work from home. So let's say I'm looking for that. And the date posted, I want in the past 3 days. And the company type might be that I'm really interested in information. So now I'm going to get really, really specific. See, I really limited it by going this way, but now I know. And then if I want to look by employer, I can put the employer that I'm interested in, okay? You can also save it. Remember what I said about bookmarking it right here, and you can also set your job alerts in, and you can decide exactly how you want the alerts to come in. So if you go up here, you can go to alerts, you can say daily, weekly, or instantly, which is what I usually set it at. You can also look at what you saved here. So every job that you saved is right up here, and you can apply on all of these different places where the job actually shows up. So choose the platform that works for you. And then of course, this tab right here is the jobs. All right. We've covered quite a bit. All right, everybody. Whew. It's a lot of information. Now, before we finish up, your next steps are actually to take action. You're either going to do one of these steps or you're going to start checklisting all of them if you've done pieces of them. I encourage you to use this, and I'm actually going to get my laser pointer out of the way here. Let me bring it down here to get it out of your way. If you want to do a screenshot, do a screenshot, because this is your action list, your to-do list to really take your job search to the next level, to power it up, right? That's what we're all talking about, is leveling up to the next level. And this will help you get there. Understand that knowledge is not power. That's a myth. There is no knowledge that's powerful until it's applied. It has to be applied. And a to-do list and this action is about applying what you've learned. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. All right. Now you can learn from everywhere or anywhere, really everywhere and anywhere. And this is how to be able to level up your skills. Let's say you really want to know how to use Sheets because you want to learn how Sheets can help you in, even doing budgets, payroll, because some businesses use it that way. Everything that you can do with Excel, you can do with Sheets. You can go to Applied Digital Skills and you can go to these courses. There's courses, workbooks, a lot of videos, and you can do this 100% free and go all the way to the certification process. Now, once you get to the certification process, to be certified, there's a cost. I think it's $75 to be certified, because you're now getting a piece of paper that you can put into your employee records. But do know that you can get everything, all the skill set without that piece of paper, all the way up to there without any cost. So this is 100% free to you unless you want the certification. You can also download Google Primer. This is a free app on your iPhone, so that's in the App Store or Google Play Store for Android. And you can do things like look at these lists, these lesson plans. They're like playlists of working remotely and productivity and increasing your productivity. You can do all of that and see some wonderful tips here. In fact, all my degrees are in marketing, but I still have this app because every day I'm learning something new. You don't have to be connected to the internet to use it. It's a great tool to keep you up and posted, and you can see how to get there quickly right there at the bottom left-hand corner. And then if you want a Google Career Certificate, you definitely might be interested in this because we work with a little over 300 employers who look for certificates now from Google. This started in early March, right when everything was happening and the world was changing. And what this is you can get a certificate in this. Now this certificate, there is a cost to this. So it's about $39 a month to utilize this, and most people finish the program in about 6 months. But now you're in a pool of over 300 plus employers who are really in this space, actively looking for people, and you're in where Google's at too. If you want to be employed by Google, then I highly recommend that you consider getting a career certificate in any of these things, because this is the pool that Google pulls from. Okay, so if you want to learn more here, go here. And you can go to find out more, even how you can be sponsored into this if you need somebody to sponsor you into it. But said some people will do it in 1 month. I mean, they focus on it, they just go through it. In 1 month, it's $39. But if you take the 6 months, which is the average, then that's what it normally takes, and that's the cost, 39 times 6, that'll be there. Okay, perfect, Monica. Oh, good. I'm glad it's helpful. And if you need to learn anything, remember about the website I told you at the very beginning. This is the one I shared with you at the very beginning when we first started, that your Google partner, the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, the LTC Tumble Community Library, the Atascocita branch of the Harris County Public Library, the Workforce Commission of Tarrant County, everybody that's here supporting and making sure Goodwill of West Texas, well, actually Goodwill, let me make sure it's not of West Texas. I went right to the West Texas name because I've worked with Goodwill West Texas before, but it's Goodwill Industries of Fort Worth. All right, sorry about that, Bradley. I got it right. It's Goodwill Industries of Fort Worth. But if you reach out to the Google partner who invited you, all of these resources are available to you through them. In fact, if you need any additional training, you see other topics, whether you're working with students or teachers, whether or not you're a business, you're a developer yourself, trying to work on your skill set, whatever you need, that's all available to you right here. Okay? All right. We have covered quite a bit. This is the money shot. This is what, until that, like I said, everything comes to you 24 hours from now, you might want to take a screenshot of this, because this is everything, every link that I mentioned in the webinar today. Okay, so take a look at it, do a screenshot there. I'll hover there for a while. All right, any other questions, anyone? I'm going to go to Q&A, which means now I'm going to stop the recording.